Hello and welcome to another episode of Boldly Going, where we go over all the different Star Trek series. This is Merlin here, sometimes known as Joe, and I've got the Film Fanatics alumni with me. I got Dan over here.
Hey.
Got Justin over there.
How's it going?
And we're going back to my favorite series, Deep Space Nine, and for a guest star appearance, Q actually comes to the Deep Space Nine station to bother Cisco, and it's interesting because you guys are gonna. There's a certain character that's kind of at the center of this who actually is a romantic interest to Picard's. So I don't know if you guys would have picked up on all the references here that they'll mention in this episode, but I think you'll still get the gist that at this point, Q has some history. The Federation knows about him, Cisco knows about him, and he deals with him in a very different way than Picard does, which surprises Q. So you get some Q comedy, and that's pretty much all this episode is, for better or worse. But typically, I would, go to Justin. But I know that Dan's a big John Delancey fan.
I do like the Q character a lot, yes.
So, who wants it more?
I mean, I feel like Dan's going to give it a more fair shake because he's had more experience with Q, so...
All right. Well, then that's where I was going to lead if you didn't object, Justin. So, give us a little more detailed synop and first thoughts, Dan.
Well, yeah, basically, Q and Vash, this woman who I don't actually know from Next Generation. She must not have been in any of the ones I've seen.
You'll see her later. She's recurring kind of sort of love interest for Picard.
Well, I sort of picked up on that.
And
they do mention Picard several times in this episode.
Bit of a thief.
And basically...
Yep, femme fatale.
Basically, Q is
in love with her.
And trying to win her over.
Which is out of nowhere, by the way.
It's not going over very well. I'm sorry?
Not pre-established at all.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, at some point they just apparently met up and became a thing.
I sort of thought that was maybe a thing.
No,
that was a holdover.
Take
from
that
Next
into
Gen
account.
Too. Okay.
If you saw this episode, you'd be like, wait, when did she ever meet Q?
Okay.
What? So it's basically
it's
just Next Gen.
So
cameos.
we're supposed to basically assume that at some point they met and he falls in love with her
and just bothers her. Yeah.
All right. Well, so he basically bothers the whole crew because he gets into a fight with Cisco, as you mentioned. The power starts going awry.
Must be Q.
Yeah, Miles is kind of annoyed about that. And Miles, of course, knows him from the Picard days.
Not a fan.
Of Next Gen. So, that's essentially what happens. And I have to say I was not very impressed with this episode. For one thing, this is episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
I guess 6, really, if you count the first part as a... It's
yeah.
technically, quote-unquote, 7,
well,
but that's
you're
because
right.
the first one's a two-parter. But anyway...
Basically 6, yeah.
The point is, we barely know these characters. To me, it was like... The comparison I made in my head was, it would be like if on episode 7 of Frasier, Ted Danson comes in, but the whole episode is about Ted Danson and someone else who we never even met on Cheers before, and that's it. We're getting to know Roz, we're getting to know all the Frasier people. Why are we focusing on Sam Malone right now?
First of all, I do like the Frasier references. That's cool. And it's funny, I follow this one gentleman that reviews a lot of Star Trek episodes and goes very in-depth. And his big issue with it was it's so early, and it really doesn't focus much on... They're like guest stars in their own episode.
None of the people.
Yeah.
Cisco really even only gets very minimal to do here.
He gets to fight Q.
O'Brien, I would say, gets probably the most.
Fight, yeah.
But again, O'Brien is also a holdover from Next Gen, so it's like we already sort of know about him.
Well, and obviously this was a ratings ploy. Let's get all this Next Gen stuff.
And that's exactly what I thought. I thought to myself, okay, the ratings maybe weren't so good the first few episodes, so they brought back a classic. I get it, but it didn't make sense within the context of the episode number of this series. Mm-hmm. Now, if this was episode 50, I may have a different take on it. Mm-hmm. Also, I didn't know her from Adam. Obviously, there's a lot of history there.
Yeah, you'd probably appreciate a little more if you knew more about it.
Interesting to know that her and Q never had a thing. Because I really got the sense that they did.
Nope.
Yeah. So, not one of the great Deep Space Nines for me. Mm-hmm. I give it a C+.
Okay.
Justin?
Justine?
Well, I'd say my... I guess I'm going to put a politely dislike towards Q, which I think is just a byproduct of nobody willing to tell Gene Roddenberry, no.
You really don't like Q?
I think he's nothing really but a space troll. He has no purpose than to just irritate everyone in the room.
That is kind of what he does.
I mean, I've been told he has an arc. I've been told he gets better, but...
All right. Okay, the space troll thing never really goes away, but he's very important because of one particular thing he does involving a certain race, and he does go through an arc. His character does get better, I can promise you that. But the core of his character is obnoxious god who likes to annoy Picard. That is what what's what he does, you know.
And really, like, annoy with no basis of why. Like...
Because he's a
Next Generation was like,
guy.
I'm pricking and prodding you because you're human.
Yeah.
And then I rise to the occasion. I'm still pricking and prodding you. You're just a horrible character.
That's why he's so shocked when Cisco belts him one.
Which is, I think, kind of funny, personally.
I liked it.
And then we get, quite possibly, the strangest moment in Deep Space Nine up to this point.
Here's the thing. I'll let you finish.
No, go on.
Q had the best, guest star of all time. I was interrupting Kanye style, so that's why I said that.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna let you finish your review. But though, here's my sort of argument about the whole troll thing. I guess really, sure, he kind of is that is what he is. But characters can be beloved that are trolls. I'm sorry, but Bugs Bunny's kind of nothing but a troll.
He's kind of...
All he does is irritate everybody, and he's amazing and great and funny.
Bugs is worse than Q. At least Q kind of sometimes wants to moralize. Bugs just is out for himself.
Bugs just likes to mess with people.
For no good reason, yeah.
So, I understand what you're saying. I can't really disagree with the statement, but... I think there can be redeeming qualities in a character that is very troll-ish.
I'll tell you what, though, Justin. This is kind of going back a little bit because in Deep Space Nine and, spoilers, Voyager, when Q does more stuff, they kind of struggle with what to do with him because at the end of Next Gen, his story arc's kind of resolved. So... But
he's so beloved that they wanted to keep bringing him back.
Throw him in there, and what do? He'll just still be annoying, even though he's kind of learned his lesson. So I can't really argue with it, but that's just the general what they want to do. Like, people like Q, have them make fun of people.
But here's the problem. They even try to take the anti-hero route with him, and it just is, completely out of left field. I've yet to see him do anything that doesn't resemble a gigantic jerk.
I don't know.
So, this last second bit of morality is sort of like him going full on Wesley Crusher. Okay, well, we have to wrap up central problem. Okay, let's have Q do something kind of redeemable, but not really.
And that's pretty much Q's episodes in a
nutshell. This
Q...
might be a strange comparison, Joe, but I'm kind of imagining...
Okay.
I'm kind of imagining Q as an evil version of the Doctor. Like, omnipotent character that's quasi-godlike, but if the Doctor was far less likable and
kind of
less optimistic.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. He goes around the universe and messes with people as opposed to helping them. Yeah, that's about right. But Q is kind of an antagonist for the show, but in the same way that kind of a lesser villain would be. That's kind of a problem, like Mr. Mxyzptlk from Superman. I
remember that from the
last time we talked. He's this little imp guy, voiced by Gil Godfrey in the cartoon.
Oh, how great!
Who just goes around and likes to mess with Superman by pulling like big pranks, but he's never out trying to murder anybody. That's Q. He's a trickster. He's a troublemaker, but he's not. In the earlier ones, sometimes he will do things that are more heinous, but yes, Justin, I'm actually surprised you didn't like him. For some reason, I thought you'd find him enjoyable. I don't.
Oh my God, no! I could have told you Justin would hate him.
I mean, he's a more existential being who judges humanity. I'll
be honest. I got the evil Doctor comparison from how he was reacting with Vash at the end, which I did actually kind of like, even though it was very out of left field.
Huh. Well, he'll try to emulate humans the best he can.
But at least to that point, there was okay, maybe there is more to this character that had me kind of interested to see where he might show up next and if there was something that was going to actually make me get behind him. I think in terms of Star Trek camp, it has a couple moments of fun. I really don't like the weird let's do fisticuffs scene, which was just bizarre and stupid.
TOS?
it was super TOS. It was like,
I think
what
that
is this
was
doing when Star Trek kind of got a bit more serious? Where is this coming from? But I thought Vash's character was interesting. I liked her whole thing with Quark.
Well, yeah, she's got a history with Ferengi, so callbacks. But what was your grade, Justin?
I'm sorry. This one would probably be like a C for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Quark's a lousy auctioneer too, by the way.
Quark makes
Didn't like his methods.
No.
Look, Quark makes many questionable business decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, he's a pretty good economist, but he
Not his finest hour this round.
Quark's great. Quark does no wrong, even in his.
I like Quark,
Quark's-
but he's just not a good auctioneer. And that part didn't do it for me, Joe. Sorry.
Well, he does lose his bar a couple times, so
Is that right?
Yeah, so things will happen. But no, this one. It's kind of funny. Most of my favorite Next Gen episodes are actually Q episodes. Usually,
He's one of the more popular villains.
I really love his episodes. That's why when you get to some of the better ones, Justin, I'm sure you'll like. There's some of them. I mean, there's one in particular that's like huge.
Classic. Yeah.
Think you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like he gets better. I think he's funny. I think he's interesting. He's very complex. Here, though, he's just kind of doing his shtick. I think he's funny, but it's really just kind of run of the mill. I think that's why I'm a little easier on it, though I can definitely understand him being in DS9, taking away from DS9, but...
Especially this early on.
This early on, maybe, but I like Q a lot. I liked his interaction with Vash. I thought it was fine. It's not great, but it was enjoyable enough. I leave this one with a B-. I think it's all right. It's not, pinnacle DS9, but if you like Q, it's worth watching. It's not the worst Q episode. There are...
Voyager?
Oh...
Voyager, he comes back with this little mini story arc in Voyager, and some of it is
Justin's on board already.
some of it's really good, some of it gets really stupid because I can tell you this. They get to the point where they realize Q's not enough, so we get to see the Q continuum as a whole be more involved. So Voyager ran out of idea, but whatever. Next time's Voyager.
Yeah, true.
But no, DS9. I thought it was all right. Not the best, but just stick to Cardassians and Bajorans, and political stuff, and
those nasty
Cardassians.
Yeah,
they murdered so many. Did you miss that?
No, I got that part.
Like, I mean,
they've made it abundantly clear at this point.
There is a legitimate reason the Bajorans hate them. So just like
lots of murder.
Yeah, and you guys haven't even seen all of it, but I thought I guess that'll be the wrap for DS9. So if you guys have any comments about that episode, let us know. And I guess we'll be getting more next time.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. See ya.
Catch you, man.